Hello, welcome to Break It Off, a brand new English talk show by HKeye, where we'll be shattering stereotypes from all professions. I'm your host, Melody Chan, and today I'm joined with Elicia Mira, who is an aerial artist of over 8 years. So what was your reaction when someone says, oh, you do aerial arts? And is that the same thing as aerial yoga?
So my reaction would be, firstly, maybe a bit like, but then at the same time understanding, because there is not much knowledge on it, especially if you don't do it yourself. So of course, in that moment, I would want to just educate and let them know that it's not the same, but I get where the confusion could be. Aerial arts has so many elements where it's like, it's got dance, gymnastics, and it's almost theatrical.
And about educating people on that, you know, I've done aerial arts for around 3 months now, seriously about aerial hammock spinning. How do you really explain it to people?
Okay, well, aerial arts has not just a hammock, but there's so many other apparatus as well. You have the hoop, you have the silks, you have the trapeze, there's even rope, there's straps. And you know, aerial artists get so creative these days that there's an apparatus for all sorts of things. So I've heard of, there's an aerial spiral, there is aerial ladder. I've had a friend that came up with aerial chair. So as long as it's an object and you can climb on it, it can be an aerial apparatus. Yeah.
And I've seen one where there was for Mid-Autumn Festival, there's an aerial moon.
Well, I do get some people still asking like, okay, well, aerial hoop, aerial moon, that's still yoga. It's like, okay, well, there are overlaps. Okay, there are a lot of shapes that we do in circus that look like yoga poses. But at the end of the day, we have to remember what is the foundation of the two of these things, which I think is what people tend to forget, is that for yoga, it is more of a wellness thing. We're a little less concerned about how spiritual it is, and a little less concerned about, you know, I don't think we think too much about like, you know, breathing, being one with our body is way more physical. And we solely focus on conditioning exercises, getting stronger, and seeing if we can do these tricks. Whereas I feel like here in Hong Kong, there's not much knowledge about lots of arts. Like aside from aerial, there's probably a lot of other arts that you've never even heard of. Like there's also flow arts.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. What is that? So flow arts, it could be like fire dance, fan dance, it's like contortion, you know, all of these things, they're kind of within the circus realm. I feel like it is important for us to tell people what we do, because this is who we are.
And talk about like people, like many people that you encounter. Was there ever a time where someone comes up to your class and be like, oh, I signed up for an aerial yoga class, why is this like aerial arts?
Yeah, you know what, that has happened. That has happened. I had a student come in and she was a bit surprised, like, oh, it wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was an aerial yoga class. I'm like, yeah, so that's why I try to make sure that for any newcomer, I try to explain that just checking that you know that this is an aerial circus class, it's not aerial yoga.
But were there instances where they asked for a refund, or were they...
Luckily, no. Luckily, no. I think so far it has been enjoyable for them to want to come back regardless of that.
I know you also do like Instagram reels,
you
know, break the stereotype of aerial yoga is not aerial arts. You know, can you tell us more about that?
There's always like trends, right? So there was this trend going around where, you know, you say that, oh, we are so and so and so, and then you say all of these like, kind of like stereotypes about this label. So I did a version for aerialists, like we're aerialists. We always have people asking if we do aerial yoga or something like that. Yeah, so I think because this video was so relatable, it kind of just skyrocketed, and I didn't expect that. Like I literally took that video in a car park. And I think people just like to feel heard and feel seen, because a lot of times in the aerial community, like people just don't understand what we do. So it's just refreshing to know that there's other people who get the same exact treatment.
People making choreographies out of those aerial spinning classes as well, which then they're shared on social media, so it reaches more, more people as well.
I think here it is quite popular in a sense that it is more of like a dance thing. Especially like in Hong Kong, the ceilings here are not very high, so we're a little bit restricted as to what we can do when the height is lower.
And when it comes to that, it also comes with like stereotypes, obviously. And you know, maybe you're not too flexible for this because you know, it's dance and a lot of times it's about stretching. You know, how would you respond to that?
Yeah, so not just flexibility but also strength. Most people who start, they have had nothing. When I started, maybe I had a bit of flexibility, but strength-wise, it was like nothing, you know? That's the whole point of going to class, is that you build the strength and you build the flexibility over time, and in a fun way.
Would you just say like, you should just go for it and you should just try it out yourself and you'll know?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to start anything really. Like it's easy to be interested, but it's really hard to actually get yourself to sign up. You won't really know what you like until you actually try it. But I would say you'll probably need more than just a single hour to let you know that it's for you or not.
What have you realized after 8 years of doing aerial, something that you haven't known before?
This is one advice I can offer people, especially if you've been doing aerial for a long time, or anything for that matter, not even aerial, is that you have to remember that you should be a student no matter what. So yes, you are professional, you've been doing it for a long time, but you should still keep studying it, you should still keep finding inspiration for it, and just never stop learning is all I'm saying. Never stop learning.
Well, thank you so much, Elicia, for all your insights in about aerial yoga, but also aerial arts.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Until next time at Break It Off. Thank you.